The Trump campaign's behemoth fundraising operation raked in $143 million in 2019, the most ever raised by an incumbent in a non-election year. We took a closer look at that massive war chest and some of the figures that may surprise you. While the bulk of the money raised is spent on campaign operations and advertising, a sizable amount each quarter was also used to pay legal fees, more than $6.5 million total over 2019. This was divided between about a dozen law firms representing several current and former Trump associates involved in various investigations and lawsuits, such as the president's eldest son, Donald Trump Jr., and son-in-law Jared Kushner. This is a significantly higher amount than any of the president's Democratic competitors, who haven't had to deal with such high payments for their legal consulting. The robust campaign has around 100 people on staff already, and a large portion of cash goes toward their payroll. Heading up the team, campaign manager Brad Parscale, who has seen at least $2 million flow toward his own self-named company, which helps with digital consulting and web development. The campaign maintains Parscale is not pocketing a percentage of this money. Another eyebrow-raising fundraising aspect, the money each quarter that ends up going back into Trump properties. Their branded hotels and restaurants such as Trump Tower and Trump Grill, adding up to more than $600,000 overall. Some of that money goes to rent for a campaign space that still exists in Manhattan. Despite the political downsides of being only the third president to ever be impeached by the House, and the first ever to face that while running for re-election, impeachment has at least been monetarily beneficial for the Trump campaign. The 2020 team saw some of its biggest fundraising days in and around the inquiry's milestones, and they anticipate the Senate trial will have a similar effect. The fundraiser-in-chief has used the benefits of incumbency sooner than any of his predecessors. Former President Barack Obama didn't even announce his bid for a second term until April of the year before the re-elect. Since Trump filed paperwork to run again the day he was inaugurated, he was able to raise about $130 million in the first 2 years of his administration. That's a far cry from then-candidate Trump in 2015, when he pledged to self-fund.
I don't need anybody's money. It's nice. I don't need anybody's money. I'm using my own money. I'm not using the lobbyists. I'm not using donors. I don't care.
The Trump camp ended last year with a whopping $102 million cash on hand, dwarfing the current Democratic presidential candidates on their own, but not necessarily combined as a field. To give you a sense, the Trump campaign raised $46 million in the fourth quarter, their best performance to date. In that same time, the last 3 months of the year, Senator Bernie Sanders' campaign raised about $34 million. Former Mayor Pete Buttigieg's campaign brought in $25 million, and former Vice President Joe Biden raised $23 million. If you add up all the Democrats still in the race at the end of the year, they brought in a total of about $140 million. But that's just the campaign numbers. The Trump haul, combined with the RNC and the rest of the Trump re-elect effort, amounted to nearly $500 million for 2019. Another record-breaking figure and an undeniably formidable aspect to the Democrats and their eventual nominee.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.